What's going on YouTube? Welcome back to another video, and in today's video is another Cryptid Saturday, and we are going over the Cryptids of Connecticut. Connecticut's got some cool cryptids, and I hope you guys enjoy them just as much as I do, and as much as hopefully we'll get to go through this. Before we get into this video, guys, please go ahead, hit that like button, hit the subscribe button, follow me on all of my social medias, which will be listed at the end of this video, as well as drop comments down below with any cryptids you would like to see me cover in the future. Also, some of these cryptid ones don't have great pictures, but they do have a lot of explanations on what they look like. So if you guys would like to take those descriptions and draw them up and send them to me on Instagram, I will post them on Instagram. I'll tag you in the pictures. So without further ado, guys, let's go ahead and get into this Cryptid Saturday, the Cryptid of Connecticut. Like I always like to say, guys, I don't own the rights to this article. I simply use them to pass along information. If you guys want to check out this article for yourself, go ahead and go over to ctpost.com and show them some love. But if not, let's just stick around. We'll get through this together. Urban myths and legends of Connecticut. For a small state, Connecticut is packed to the brim with creatures of legend and folklore. With Halloween just around the corner, what better way to get spooked than seeing what might be out there in the darkness? Melon heads. I love melon heads. So, before we get into the melon heads, like I said, if you guys want to draw pictures, well, my daughter drew this picture when I told her about melon heads. I think that's a pretty good rendering of what you would think a melon head would look like, don't you? Perhaps one of the most frightening and well-known legends in Connecticut, the Melonhead are said to be either a band of deranged escapees of an asylum or a group of remote settlers who have suffered facial abnormalities due to inbreeding. Melonhead Road exists notably in Shelton, Milford, and Trumbull, in which people claim that the Melonheads will attack their cars with rocks in order to deter them from coming back on their land. If you're feeling adventurous, Sawmill City Road in Shelton is known to be their primary stomping ground, so be sure to visit at night. Um, yeah, so the history is like there was an asylum where they were basically getting experimented on, and they would like pump water into their heads somehow, and so they basically just became all misshapen because they would leave it there so long that the bone structure changed, which is really, if that's true, it's really sad. On the flip side of it, if it is like in just a weird inbred family from the backwoods, those poor people as well. But you could probably see why they would be very scary. Once again, guys, like I said, I'm not saying that these aren't real things. But what I am saying is, like, more than likely, this one I think is just made up. Or if there is history behind the asylum doing it, then that's probably what it is, and the people just would get out and just scare people. So it may not be so much true anymore as it is like it was true and now it's not. The glaucus. That just looks like a black ferret. I don't know if that's real, if that's what it actually looks like, but to me, that's just like a black ferret. The legend of the glaucus draws similarities to the Mexican legend of the chupacabra, in that both struck fear in the hearts of many after attacking and mutilating local animals. Described as part bear, dog, and cat, the glaucus first appeared in the 1939 in Glastonbury. They were said to have eaten cats and other small animals and could be heard howling at night. The glaucus legend appeared again in 1950, but has since vanished. Many individuals look to fishers as the culprit behind the attacks, but the mystery still remains. So maybe that's a picture of a fisher. Um, yeah, I don't know. I think maybe, like most things with Chupacabra, I think are like misidentified. And part bear, part dog, part cat is kind of strange. Like I don't even know how you would draw that, or what you would think that would be. But hey, I mean, I don't know. Maybe it was real though. Like I said, hey, that was in 1950. Like think about how long ago that was. Just uh, so maybe back then there was something, and it was just like they were just the last little holdout, and now they're all gone. That could be what that is. Outside of that, I mean, people blame mutilations on a lot of things, so it's hard to say what's real and what's not when it comes to mutilations. The Leatherman, the Darn Man. That's kind of a weird name. Okay. Oh, this one was actually real. Okay. So this is actually history right here, not so much a cryptid. Like this actually is real. The Leatherman was actually a real person. His tale is both one of the oldest and most documented legends of Connecticut. Dating back to before the Civil War, the Leatherman was known to travel 360 mile, or sorry, the Leatherman was known to travel a 360-mile trip between Connecticut and New York for over 30 years. No one knew where he came from since he did not speak to anyone, but all people knew was that come rain or snow, they were guaranteed to see the Leatherman walking about. His portrait can be found hanging in the Doanbury Public Library, where he was said to have started this journey. There is also a story of the Darn Man, who operated similarly to the Leatherman, but was described as a clean-cut individual. So, one, I think the Darn Man is just a Leatherman when he shaved. And when they didn't see him and they just didn't recognize him, so now he's just the darn man. But this is cool. So this is a guy who actually did exist. I don't know why he was walking 360 miles between New York and Connecticut. But I would really like to know. If anybody out there can tell me, that would be amazing. Look at him though. I mean, he looks creepy to be honest with you. But people didn't really smile in photos back then. So I mean, he'll just be like, he's probably super fit if he's walking that far. I mean, I guess as fit as you could be back in the 1950s. But he really is just decked out in all leather. And it's all like crudely sewn together, so he's just been continually repatching it. Can't have a Cryptid Saturdays without Bigfoot, guys. The Winsted Wildman, Bigfoot. That's one of the creepier photos, that's for sure. I mean, I don't know, that could be. It's blurry and out of focus, so it's got that going for it. I wonder what would happen if you were to just clear up this resolution. Like how funny it would be, you clear up this resolution, and it's just a dude's face in there. Bigfoot sightings in the Nutmeg State can be traced back to the 19th century when a large hairy creature terrorized townfolks in Winsted. It would stalk people who stepped foot near the Mad River Reservoir, keeping pace with its victims should they run away. The Hartford Courant dubbed the creature the Winsted Wild Man, with a final appearance of the creature in 1974. A Bigfoot was last seen in Connecticut in 2005 in Norwich, with no reports ever since. Okay, so personally, I think this one is just some creepy guy stalking people in the woods. But let me know what you guys think. Like I said, I'm not saying Bigfoot isn't real, but what I am saying is this is probably not a Bigfoot. Sea serpents. Since the 17th century, Long Island Sound has seen its fair share of sea serpent sightings that spawn down the whole coast of Connecticut. One of the most popular accounts of sea monsters off the coast of Long Island Sound comes from the Lordship of Stratford. There are 3 different occurrences of sea serpent sightings off the Stratford coast between the year of 1878 and 1909. These accounts also mention the sightings of mermaids as well. I mean, the ocean is huge. There is no telling what it could be. It could be oarfish, ribbonfish, like mermaids, sharks. I mean, you just never know. So, yeah, I don't know. Of all the ones, like this was probably, I'd say, misidentification. But I mean, who knows? Apparently, mountain lions make the cryptid list. Something up with that one's eye. I don't know if it's just how they shot the photo or what, but something looks off about that lion. Could also be that that's stuffed. I don't know if it is or isn't, but these relatives of house cats have long since disappeared from Connecticut, but some claim to still see them. Hunters report to have seen mountain lions in the wild, though only to have them disappear before their eyes. These ghost mountain lions are refuted by the Department of Environmental Protection to be non-existent, which has caused many theorists to claim that the mountain lions are being covered up. I don't think the government's covering up that mountain lions to move back into an area. Personally, I think it's really, one, it's hard to see mountain lions to begin with. Like, they are very elusive cats. Two, there could just be roaming males trying to establish new territories. I mean, and that happens. Uh, so maybe, like, hunters are seeing them, and then they'll report it, and either no one takes them seriously because the DEP says that they're gone, so no one's actually going out and looked for them, or, you never really know when it comes to this. I don't think there's some weird government cover-up out there to try and hide the mountain lions in Connecticut, the panthers in Arkansas and Florida. Like, I don't see, like, any value in that on a government perspective for hiding that. Now, for a landowner perspective, like, if you're trying to, like, clear out land and there's lions there, they're not going to let you do that. So that would make sense to me, but I don't think the government's hiding the fact there's mountain lions, though. But I guess calling them ghost lines is almost not as real. Although maybe they're seeing the ghost of ones that used to live there, but like I'm not sure this one actually deserved to make it on the cryptid list, to be honest with you. But it's still kind of cool. Jewett City vampires. I love how they used one of the Bram Stoker's Draculas for the picture of vampires. In 1854, the Ray family from Jewett City was plagued with a strain tuberculosis that ended up taking most of the family. The surviving members of the family were convinced that the disease was a curse from beyond the grave that made the deceased loved ones thirsty for their blood. They decided to exhume their relatives and burn their corpses in hopes to end the suffering. The tale would go on to inspire Bram Stoker's classic Dracula and pose the question, do vampires walk among us? Okay, so the fact that Bram Stoker's Dracula was inspired by this is freaking cool. How cool is that, though? Like, so this is what inspired Dracula, or at least Bram Stoker's Dracula. Some of it. I know he drew a lot from like Vlad the Impaler and things too. Um, but like on this though, I think the surviving members of the tuberculosis had a little bit of messed up in their heads. So they might have just went insane. But what are you gonna do? The Pigman. Similar to accounts in famous portrayals in shows like Seinfeld and American Horror Story, this legend is nestled in local lore. The story states that in the 1970s, a group of teenagers saw a man with a pig face drowning a woman near Mystic. But no traces of the pigman or woman have ever been found. The tale is continually told to caution young children from wandering from home at night. Yeah, okay, so this one is, I'm not saying those kids didn't see somebody drowning somebody in a lake, and he was probably wearing a pig mask. But personally, I think that this is one of those just myths that mothers tell their children, so that way they won't go out at night and wander into the woods. It's amazing how many of those we're actually finding throughout this entire thing, where I think that's more the case than they're real creatures. But it's still fun to talk about. Now, if there was a guy with a pig head drowning somebody, holy crap, this world is nuts. The Black Dog of Hanging Hills. Can we just talk about that name real quick? Hanging Hills? Did they used to like hang people there? Like, is that how it got its name? Sometimes I wonder this more than like the actual stories here. They found like the scariest picture of a dog they could. Should you find yourself exploring the beautiful scenery of Castle Craig of Hanging Hills, be on the lookout for an ethereal black dog that is said to follow around visitors. Though never leaving a trace of his presence, it is said that one visit by the dog will lead to good luck, two visits will lead to sadness, and three visits will lead to an untimely death. Yeah, okay, so what you do here is, legitimately, you go once, you see the dog, and you have good luck. Or, what did it say? Yeah, you have good luck. And then if you're tired of the good luck, you go back a second time, and you see the dog again, so that way, it'll lead to sadness, thus canceling out the good luck. But that basically just brings you back to square one. Do not go back three times, because after the third time, that's three strikes and you're out. This is actually really cool, though. This is one of the first cryptids I've read about those so far that actually says, oh, it brings you good luck. So that is pretty interesting to me. All right, y'all. So that was the Urban Myths Legends of Connecticut. So the Cryptids of Connecticut. That ends this Cryptid Saturday. Please drop a comment down below what you guys thought about the cryptids we went over. Do you guys think any of my explanations are good, bad, indifferent, the other? Just let me know what you guys think. And I'd love to see any images if you guys decide you want to draw them. That being said, though, guys, like I said at the beginning of the video, please go ahead and hit that like, subscribe, and notification buttons all on the screen. Drop those comments down below. My social medias will be following right after this, and you guys can go follow me there as well. It'd be greatly appreciated. And until next time, though, guys, I will see y'all next Saturday for Cryptid Saturdays.